So good morning, everyone, again. So today we are going to talk about history. So the time is March 2022. Aditya Davda, or me, I'm getting promoted to grade 8. Oh, thank you so much for your blessings that helped me pass the exam. But the fact that I would be getting new textbooks was amazing. My curious brain and me together were excited about it. The thing which fascinated me and my curious brain the most was I would be getting a new history textbook. So me and my curious brain are really interested in history. So me and my curious brain opened the first page of the history textbook, and oh God, I loved it. I just really loved it. So me and my curious brain together read the first chapter and understood it. Yes, understood it. But the joy did not last more. And the time had come when my school was getting reopened. My curious brain was sentenced to 1 academic year in prison. Do you know why? For being curious. And my Rattu brain was now ready to rock. Yes. Ooh. So now my Rattu brain and me together rocked through textbooks, through the classes, and also through the exams. And also to chapter 9 of history, which focused on the Indian freedom struggle. So, after the exams got over, my curious brain was finally released, and me and my curious brain were happy again. So now, my curious brain just asked a question, that was our Indian freedom struggle limited to one movement? Did we get freedom because of the Quit India movement? I was also puzzled by this question. So me and my curious brain together started researching upon this topic, the Indian freedom struggle. We read books together, we watched documentaries together. And finally, again the time had come. The schools were getting reopened. Oh God, but this time, the curious brain was again in the court. But there was a strong lawyer to protect her. The lawyer was my heart. And sure, he did. And me and my curious brain researched till date. But me and my curious brain came across a fact that Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose had struck the final nail in the coffin of Indian independence. I'll tell you the story why. So, it was the time of the later 1945. The Second World War had ended. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Azad Hind Fauj, was defeated, and he died in an alleged plane crash. Remaining soldiers, the surviving Jawans of the Azad Hind Fauj, were captured by the British. The 3 major generals of the Azad Hind Fauj, Sehgal, Shahnawaz, and Dillon, were put under trial at the Red Fort. The trial was in a public view, meant to psychologically torture Indians. But we Indians took it the other way. They were sentenced to death, unfortunately. But we Indians were very angry. This country was at the verge of a major revolt. The Royal Indian Navy, one of the biggest navies at that time, had revolted against the British. The mutiny had several other reasons, but the final stroke was the INA trials. And then people took to the streets of Karachi, Mumbai, and Vishakhapatnam, carrying portraits of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Finally, the Air Force also joined the revolt, and that it was a dead end for the British, a complete dead end. They reversed the verdict, but unfortunately, they had to leave India. Or else fortunately for us, but unfortunately for them. And at that time, the then Prime Minister of Great Britain, Lord Clement Attlee, sent the cabinet mission to India to decide India's political future. And the rest is
History.
yes. And this is not my own story. I have not made it up. This was said by the then Prime Minister of Britain, Lord Clement Attlee, to the Governor of Bengal when he was on a visit to India. So, the message I got through my research in history, through my love for history, is that the history we mostly read is a commissioned one. This commissioned history is misleading many of us, the adults, the youth, and also the aged. We, as the citizens of this civilized world, need to look deep down into our roots, not by reading the commissioned history and the commissioned sources, but by multiplying our sources. We should not be dependent on one source to feed our curiosity. We need to multiply our sources of knowledge. So, I'd like to end my play talk by quoting a few lines said by Ernst Gombrich, a famous Austrian art historian. The history of the world is sadly not a pretty poem. It offers variety, and it is nearly always the unpleasant things that are repeated over and over again. Thank you, Dhanavad, and Jai Hind.